so many ways, because there have been so many things that have come up that I've never experienced. And I had that on the tail of getting married, remarried and changing my life after so long of being in a certain way. And, I woke up one morning and I was like, I just need to not do. When you're a doer and you're always like in it, I think sometimes you just, it's okay to give yourself the grace to say, I'm not going to do today. Today I'm going to go take a walk, and I'm going to go read a book, and I'm going to go to the beach, and I'm going to just unplug for a little bit. How do you feel about that? Like, do you find that with the people that you work with that they're hesitant to unplug sometimes because they feel like not doing is not being of a motivational mindset?
Well, first of all, I'll just tell you, not doing is doing. It's called self-love and self-care and taking care of yourself. And when I switched careers, I had just lost both of my parents unexpectedly, and one of them kind of tragically. And it was a very difficult time. And the only thing I wanted to do was re-immerse myself into work, whether it was my old job or my new career. And I promised myself I'd give myself 6 months. And it was the most uncomfortable 6 months I could give myself, because I am a doer like you. I am motivated. I like getting things done. But it was also the biggest gift I gave myself. And I think that unwinding and just being is as beneficial as doing. And sometimes the things that you're hoping to happen, whether it's, you want to close a transaction or you want to get a new client, happen in the moments of silence. The things that were coming to me, the things that were happening, I realized I don't need to move so quickly to make things happen. That's all in my head. And it's important to rest. I mean, I'm big into meditation myself, but it doesn't have to be a formal meditation. It's doing what you said, going to the beach, taking a bath. I mean, sitting with your kids and hanging out with them, playing a game, meeting a friend for a walk. It could be so many different things, but resting and resetting and self-care and self-love is critical to your growth. And especially when you're actually focusing on your growth and moving forward, your body needs it. You need it. Give yourself the gift.
Yes, I love that so much. I think, we have to stop this idea of just, coming down on ourselves. I think we need to give ourselves a lot more grace and patience, the kind of grace that other people would give us. What do you think about social media right now? I mean, from social media to the news, like, I have such a love-hate relationship with it. I love to be able to connect with people, especially people that I don't get to see. I have relatives all over the world. I communicate with my cousins in Egypt. I mean, I love social media for that. But man, it feels like if you just express yourself now and your opinion, just wait for the waterfall of hate. I mean, why are we experiencing this, and what can we do?
So I'm with you about all of that. And sometimes, I mean, people have come to me and said, why aren't you posting more about Black Lives Matter? And what I have a response, which is, I have people who are suffering every single day. The social media is saturated with stuff about Black Lives Matter. And I don't want to forget about the people who were having issues before all of this came up. It's no commentary on how I feel. I have very strong feelings. There are lots of platforms where you can say what you want to say. It doesn't have to be social media. So that's usually when people come at me, what I say. They're just saying, hey, why are your posts about, why is it important to be alone? Or why is mindset important? And why aren't you posting about George Floyd or something like that? Which I did and I do, but it's not everything right now for me. Because again, I think there are plenty of people who before all this happened needed help and are suffering and send me messages saying, you're saving my life right now. Please keep doing what you're doing.
Have you ever wondered, is rinsing my produce with the water that comes out of the sink that I don't even drink enough to really clean it? Well, then you're one of the smartest people I know, because you're absolutely right. It's not enough. That's why we created the only all-natural and patented line of food wash and wipes, and it's called Eat Cleaner. It's tasteless, odorless, and lab tested. And it removes up to 99.9% of the residue that water can't, including pesticides, wax, soil, and junk that can carry bacteria that can really make you sick. Plus, we formulated it to help extend the shelf life of your fresh produce too, and that'll save you money. When your berries are lasting up to 10-12 days, you know that's a good thing. It helps your produce last up to 5 times longer using a natural blend of fruit acids and antioxidants. So there's no chemicals. It's just clean eating fun. And this can help save your family an average of over $500 per year. Make it easy on yourself, reduce waste, and get that fruit and veggies into your body, where it's going to do you a lot of good and not in the trash. Check us out, eatcleaner.com, or head to our Amazon store at amazon.com/eatcleaner.
And I think there are enough people out there posting things about what's going on in the world today that I want to attend to the people who still need the help that they needed before. I don't want to forget about them, because I believe if we each work on ourselves, we're going to come to a more peaceful place anyway. But what I wanted to say about the social media from what you were asking, and I'm sorry to digress for a second. For me, my social media is a vision board, and that's all it is. So on my feed, all I have are accounts that feed me emotionally, psychologically, mentally, spiritually. I don't see anything negative because I don't allow that on my feed. And if I do, and it's a friend, I mute them. So they don't feel like I blocked them. We're not friends, but I'm not listening to what they're saying.
Right.
I'm very purposeful and intentional because I'm on my phone all the time, like so many of us. And it's like osmosis. It's like what we don't even realize that we're absorbing all of this information. So my first recommendation when my own clients say, oh my gosh, this person's on the beach and look at how she looks and look at how he looks and how are they doing this now and we're inside, or why are they doing this when the Black Lives Matter stuff is going on? How could they do this? It doesn't matter. Don't judge them. Just don't listen to them. Just mute them right now and find things that you really like. It's the same thing with food. Don't necessarily take everything out, but incorporate more things that are good for you, that are healthy for you, because we have to feed our minds just as much as we have to feed our bodies.
Absolutely. And I think, the truth is there's a lot of trolls out there. So, they that's what they thrive on is getting a rise out of people. So I believe that how we react to things is probably our biggest power. And I read this quote: when you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond. That's where your power is. And I was just like, wow, that just hits it on the head for me. How do you give people coping mechanisms on how to actually respond? And I know that comes from a mindset of understanding and wisdom, but do you maybe even in your own methods of responding? Like for me, I take a breath and I won't respond immediately. If I get heated, like I let it go, even though every neuron in my body wants to respond and just slam the person, like I'll just walk away and come back to it later. Are there any coping mechanisms that you have that you can recommend?
Well, first thing is I've written so many texts for so many people when they were about to explode. So, I've really learned to master this. And the thing is, the first thing, pausing is huge. I would always say, take a deep breath before you respond at all. But what you have to understand is where people are coming from. They're hurting themselves more than they're hurting you. They're not, half the time they don't even realize the impact they're having on you, but what they're putting out there is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. And this is what I tell my clients: you can always respond. You can respond the next day. You can respond in 2 days. You can never take your response back. So be really intentional about how you want to respond. Also, silence is powerful. It is extremely powerful. Sometimes people are triggering their own wounds and looking for a response from someone else so they can replay their wounds over and over again because they haven't learned how to change their soundtrack. And you're just a pawn in that. Yeah. So if you're silent, you don't need to defend yourself. So pausing, deep breaths, also thinking about the outcome. How do you want the outcome to be? When you look at the bigger picture and what you want the outcome of this whole little interaction to be, you can work backwards. But when you react, you're not looking at what you want the outcome to be. So like if you know you really care about this person and you want to be good at the end of the day, really you probably shouldn't fight. Mm-hmm. And the last thing, which is very difficult for most people in this world, you got to come from love. It's all about love and unlocking your heart. But the thing is, we've been hurt so many times over the years from people who meant to hurt us and didn't mean to hurt us, and from situations we've been in, that we've locked our hearts. When we unlock our heart chakra, when we unlock our heart and our love and can give it without expecting it back, oh man, like that's such a beautiful place to be. So now when people come at me, and I still have my people who are, some people are resentful of where I'm at right now or what I'm speaking and stuff like that. And they don't like it and it's not comfortable for them. And they let me know that. And I just send them so much love and peace and wish them well, because that's really what we want for each other, isn't it? I mean, we all just want to be happy and healthy. And obviously they're in pain if they can't come at me in a constructive, communicative, respectful way.
Yes. Yes. And coming from a place of love is just, I've seen some really elegant responses and I'm like, I got to remember that next time, just how people want to be acknowledged. A lot of the time they kind of, take it out on others. I have to share with you, I got an email from a customer about our Eat Cleaner product. She's a hardcore customer. Like I've talked to her on the phone several times. Like she's the kind of customer who will call in. And I got this really angry email from her and I was just like, wow, that's just so out of character. So instead of firing back, I was just like, I'm just so sorry you feel this way. I just would love to be able to understand like why you feel this way. And she wrote me back the most apologetic email. Like I've almost felt bad. Like I really didn't say anything wrong, but like she was so apologetic and was like, please forgive me. And I was like, there's obviously something going on. And having that ability to just say, I'm going to respond with love because there's probably something going on versus like, screw you, I mean, it yields the result that you want.
Right. And I love that because you said people want to be acknowledged, and that's exactly what it is. People want to be seen. So even if you don't feel she was right or you have where you were coming from, we don't need to document all of that. Hearing her, understanding her, empathizing, that's all that she needs. And you saw that because she responded in a way that bounced that back to you.
Yes, absolutely. So I think, now more than ever, people have a lot of expectations. Maybe they have a lot of emotions. They have a lot of feelings. People are in a myriad of different situations versus where they were at the beginning of the year. I mean, nobody could have forecasted what would happen. Here we are in June right now as we record this, back in January as we turned into a new decade. So, in this journey to health, I think that being in the best possible mindset you can be is really, really important. And you can nourish that. You can feed your body with the proper nutrients. You can get proper rest. You can sleep well. You can hydrate. Hydration is even more important than food in a lot of cases. Like, has there been one thing that you've found in your quest for the best possible mindset that has given you an edge, whether it be food or, a certain type of supplement or anything like that? Like, has there been anything that's been a game changer?
I mean, there are so many things, but I'm trying to think of maybe the top three, because I don't know if I could do the top one. Water is key. I mean, I'm going to say Americans, because I don't know about the whole world, are dehydrated. Studies show that, statistics show that. They eat and they don't realize really they're thirsty, but also our bodies are made up of water. We need water for our brains. We need water for our joints. We need water for so many reasons. So hydrate. Anytime someone tells me they're in a bad mood, they have a headache, my kids don't even come to me anymore. They know what I'm going to say. The first thing I say, get some water in your body and then come and talk to me.
Yes.
That's key. The other thing I would say is your diet. What are you putting in your body? If you're eating Doritos all day long, you're going to feel like a Dorito. Orange, hot, spicy, salty, chemically. But I get it. I have 3 kids. They like their junk too, and they're pretty healthy. And there's a balance, and there are healthier options of the junk food too. So just start noticing, and then noticing